What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Dudes Who Bet Daily. I've got Magic with me on a Thursday as we kick off a new week. Magic, you're wearing that ugly red, but I had to give you guys credit. Came in wounded, beat the Blues on Tuesday, and we fired our coach because of it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I think it had to happen, but for your team. But I don't think it's Berrube's fault. You know the team better than me. But to fire a head coach midway through a season, bring somebody else in when you're at the bottom of the league, and you win the Stanley Cup with that coach in the same year with pretty much the same makeup, like, I don't think it was the coach this time. I think there's just was an issue with team chemistry. But you tell me. You're the Blues fan here.
Oh yeah, our roster is very flawed, and I honestly, you hear the press conference from our general manager. He knew it. He's like, yeah, he almost without saying it was like, look, I didn't really want to fire him, but we had to make a change, type of thing. Yeah. And I think it is one of those things. I do think the players kind of tuned him out a little bit, and it is what it is. What a great run for me. He'll always be my favorite coach ever because we've only won one Stanley Cup in St. Louis, and that was the man that led us there. So. He'll always be my favorite, but yeah, it was probably time to move on. So, and listen, poetic justice at the Red Wings, another nail in the coffin of the St. Louis Blues after all the 80s and the 90s where the Red Wings would just dominate us. Then they get our coach fired, Magic. So congratulations once again. I hope you feel good about yourself.
I mean, I feel fine. It didn't affect my bottom line or anything. I'm still getting a paycheck from you every day. Every month, well, not every day, every month.
Every month, yeah. Okay, well, let's have you earn your paycheck and talk about this terrible football game. What do you say? So let's kick it off here today. Chargers and the Raiders, a match made in hell. Both, the Raiders are the Raiders have already the backup in. That was a choice. It sounds like the Chargers are going to have their backup as well. That's not a choice. Either way, they both suck. Raiders are 3-point favorites. Total sitting here at 34.5. Magic. The Raiders' last game ended 3-0. What will happen tonight in this game?
Take the over 3.5 points on this game. That's what that is crazy. When a game gets like this is just kind of gross, and I don't like either team, I go prop hunting, and I think you can find a lot of value there still. Raiders quarterback's gonna be Aiden O'Connell, over 204.5 passing yards. I think is the way to go. 13 games this year, the Chargers, you know how many times they've held a quarterback under 205 passing yards? Twice. Yeah. And two guys, by the way, who you could kind of compare to them, like Zach Wilson and Tyson Bagent, they both went over that. So I think this is something that it's going to be a gross game. Like, place this bet and just watch the stat line on your phone. Don't watch the game. Just watch the box score.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. There's no way I'm turning this game on. It's a brutal game. I do like to watch the Chargers a lot for comedy, but now it's almost getting like it's sad comedy. It's like, it's really not funny anymore. I kind of feel bad for those guys. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if you want to be cruel to yourself, go ahead and turn this one on. Let's see. Who am I taking? Well, let's see. I never bet the Chargers. So give me the Raiders. -3 here. I'd go under that 34.5 total. All right, let's get to the real sport here, Magic. We talked about the Blues. First game with a new coach. Usually that gives you a little bit of a bump. Also, there's a rumor the Senators might have a new coach soon as they're underachieving so far this year. Yep. The Senators are in St. Louis tonight. It's -120 on the board, total 6.5. What do you got, Magic?
Yeah, DJ Smith, the next coach to go at the Ottawa Senators. Listen, I'll take your Blues here. With the plus money because of the head coaching change and because Ottawa is struggling just about as badly. Yeah. They went 0-4 in their power play. I mean, it's against Carolina. So Carolina's a much better team. That's who the Red Wings are playing tonight. So I'm not looking. Thank you for not making me pick against them in this game today, by the way. But Berube being gone, Bannister coming up, and Jakub Vrana, former Red Wing, former lots of teams, now gone from the Blues. He's got a lot of personal issues, and I really hope the kid gets help because he really seems like he needs it. Yeah. But having that big, like, dark cloud gone of Vrana, and then having the dark cloud of our coach is going to get fired, that's gone. I think things are just, like, you've got to go with the upswing here and the plus money on your Blues.
I'm with you on the logic 100% with the coach situation. It certainly is one of those situations where it's like, okay, we could breathe a little bit. We're getting a team that's in that same situation we were in where it's like, is the coach going to be here tomorrow or not? So I do think the Blues at plus money, they're the play. And listen, the Blues at times this year have played really well. They went into Vegas and beat the Golden Knights. They went into Colorado and won a game earlier this year as well. So I think the Blues get back on track. They're at least a team that can beat a team like Ottawa. I'm glad you brought up Vrana. I wasn't going to, but you're so right. He's a kid. The Blues got him last year, and for about 20 games in the season, I was like, this is a guy. He is super good. Take the offseason, I thought we're going to get better. We're going to get the best of him. Went the total opposite way. He's just not playing well at all, and they had to waive him. So I'm with you. Let's go with the Blues here in this one. Trivia question for you. Well, maybe not trivia question, but predict the future.
Okay.
I am going to be attending the Ottawa Senators Golden Knights game on Sunday. Will the Senators have a new coach by Sunday?
If they lose in St. Louis after St. Louis was on this big slide, yes, you're going to have a brand new coach in Ottawa on Sunday or in Las Vegas for Ottawa.
I know. I feel like that as well. I feel like, okay, is it going to be a betting opportunity where I try to ride the new coach and maybe they sneak up on Vegas, or will I go Vegas minus a goal and a half and forget about it? Or you know what? Maybe just play the over because the Senators can't stop anybody. We'll see. All right. That'll be for the Sunday show. Tune in to see if Magic was right. All right. Panthers and Canucks tonight in Vancouver. Two exciting teams. Total sitting there at 6.5. It's the Panthers at minus 120 here. So another home underdog. Who you got, Magic?
Man, this is I can't believe the Canucks are second in their division. This is a team that last year, for Connor Bedard, their hometown kid, they were trying to tank from the get-go, and they failed at it. And it was hilarious that they failed. I didn't like that Chicago got Bedard, but it was hilarious that Vancouver failed so miserably. But they've rebounded. Where did this come from? Wait,
I don't know.
They have like Brock Baser, however you say his name. He's tied for with Austin Matthews and goal scored for the lead. I'm going to go with the Canucks. I mean, they're at home. You got a top goal scorer who just got his 5th career hat trick. He's feeling it. The Canucks have the league's best goal differential at plus 37. Who the hell are these guys?
Dude, if you remember, and I know you do, you paid attention to hockey last year, Magic's so right. They tried to tank. They tried so hard to tank. They traded like literally every piece they had that was any good at the deadline last year. And then all of a sudden when they did that, they got hot. They won a bunch of games. It's like even into last year, like, well, who are these guys? A large part of me thought, well, they're playing some teams that aren't really in it, and they've got some young kids that are really kind of battling right now. They're sneaking up on some people. It's the same Canucks from the last 20, 25 games last year that are playing this year. They started to kind of go downhill a little, but they've rebounded. I like the Canucks tonight as well. So 2+ money, home underdogs. We're going to go with Canucks and the Blues tonight. I would lean over the 6.5. I think that's going to be a very entertaining, wide open game tonight. By the way, both these hockey games can be much more entertaining than the football game. Just FYI.
Absolutely. I just also another edge for Vancouver. I just found out they're doing Roberto Luongo, their longtime goaltender, one of the greatest goalies of the last 20, 30 years. They're finally inducting him into the Ring of Honor because they had a big falling out when he left Vancouver. They've patched everything over. They're doing a big ceremony before the game tonight. So, yeah.
That is very cool. They're doing it tonight with the Panthers in town. Of course, Roberto Luongo, great with the Panthers. Played on a lot of really bad teams, but he was the bright spot on those teams, and then went to Vancouver and played on a very good team that almost won the cup or at least got to the finals. So, yeah, that's cool. Did not know that. Great segue, Magic. We're going to Gulfstream Park, where Roberto Luongo, I'm sure, frequented when he was in Florida, correct? Probably not. But anyway, let's go to Gulfstream Park. Race 8 on the card today. We are off the turf. The great thing about Gulfstream is when they're off the turf, you don't get those huge scratches because they just move over to the synthetic surface. So the synthetic surface is where this one will be contested. A field of 9 after 2 of the scratches. Magic, where are you going?
There's a couple of spots. I like the 9 Bay Long. Getting back out, going to be on synthetic, trying that for the first time, but was running well on turf, broke the maiden 2 back on the turf, going 7 furlongs. Going back to two turns, this horse has tried it a couple of times and had one good effort as a 2-year-old at Saratoga. So it's Bill Mott, it's Junior Alvarado, and this horse is, was last time was an off-turf race that went on the dirt at Churchill and just was never involved in that spot. So I think that you're getting back on a surface that's more favorable. The breeding says this should be a good spot. So it's not a strong opinion, but I think I like the 9 Bay Long. Probably sit just behind the 8 and get first run on him.
All right. Him. I kind of like that pick as well. I was kind of with you. I didn't really want to play the favorite in here. I wanted to not get overly creative, but try to go against, the 7 a little bit in this one. I went number 5, American Diamond. For my top pick here, Safi Joseph, which that'll kind of be a theme. I'll get more of that in a minute. But I went the 5 American Diamond. I think this horse has been facing tougher on the Kentucky circuit, whether it be Kentucky Downs, where he did win a starter allowance, or last time out at Keeneland got beat pretty badly in an allowance there. But look, I think This is a much easier field. Nothing really tells me the horse won't run well on the synthetic surface. Never been on the surface, but pretty well on the turf. I think if he takes to the synthetic, I think he's going to be tough here. So I put the 5 American Diamond on top in the spot. Magic, do you look at that one at all?
Second pick for me, and it's interesting. This Saffie Joseph claimed this horse off a maker back in last January, and then took him to Barbados, which is where Saffie Joseph is from. Took him to a race there, and it didn't work out. But that's a funny thing to see on the line there, on the running line. Like, yeah, I went to Barbados.
I did kind of chuckle at that. Yeah, I chuckled at that when I saw it. That's very interesting that the horse went there. But I like I said, that's where he's from. Maybe just give it a shot. Who knows? But didn't run too bad, I guess. Got 7th, beaten 9. I don't know what was in that race, but it was a stakes race. So
Timeform said there was a field of 4. How did he finish 7th?
I don't know. That is weird. I see that now on Timeform. It says field of 4, but it also says post position was 0. So I don't think they have the right information on that one.
Was it like jumps racing where they all just pool around behind a string and they drop the string and off they go?
Let me see if it has a list here. Now you've got me curious. Let me see if it has a list. No, when you click on like what the chart would look like. Oh, no, here it is. No, that is a chart from Delta Downs on March 15th.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah, they'll give you a weird one. I think Michael Austin brings up a good point. If you especially want to beat the single, you could go with a bunch of different, not the single, the favorite. If you want to try and beat the favorite, go with a bunch of different horses here.
Yeah, he likes your horse on top as well, and I think that one makes sense. But you're right. I mean, that's kind of my thing as well. It's like, yeah, I don't hate the 7, but I think that's a really beatable horse. And if that horse is the favorite, maybe we'll try to take a shot. So that's what we're going to try to do. All right, let's get to the best bets, Magic. Go ahead. Who's yours today?
I sent this to you at 5:30 this morning, and I got back an angry face from you because this is one of 2 that you went with, but we'll talk about this one first. The horse almost broke its maiden on debut. Very similar situation, 6 furlongs, 2-year-olds at Penn National, just missed by a neck. The horse almost went gate to wire, which is hard to do for a horse to do on its debut, and now he drew the rail. So you got the fastest horse with lots of early speed on the rail. Brittany Russell brings in Javian Toledo to get the job done. Javian Toledo is one of the top riders in the whole Mid-Atlantic circuit. They connect 30% winners in the last year, so that's a good spot. Also, the horse that was 3rd in that race was 5 lengths behind him and shows up back here, but is the 7 Praetorian Gold really going to be within a few lengths of this horse? No. So I think the 1 Lawyer John pretty easily can go gate to wire here. What price do you think we get? Because a lot of times when I pick these horses, Aaron, they're like 6-5, 7-5 morning line, and they're like holding it even money as they're about to break, and then they go off and it's 2-5, and I'm like, well, that sucks.
Yeah, I'm worried about this one. I am worried about this one because it does look like this is a very obvious horse in here. I guess you just never know. Like I picked one at Gulfstream that paid way more than I thought it was going to last week. I don't think the horse will be 1-9, but I do think the horse is going to get bet. I would say if you get there and it's like, okay, I don't want to bet this horse at 1-9. Isn't the 7 the horse that finished 3rd to Lawyer John last time out? Isn't that kind of the logical next horse to pair up in an exact? And you're probably going to get even money on the exacta at least.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what. I would go 1-7 exactly if the win odds are 2 off. In that debut race, the 1 and the 7 both debuted together, and the 7 kind of ran with the 1 early, just didn't have enough there. So I would assume that's the same trip and probably just gets second, just like we saw last time.
I think the 1 is going to win this race by the length of the stretch. I mean, it just has that look, right, where it's like you've seen all of them. They're not very good. There is one first-time starter. First-time starter's not working on all that poorly, but the trainer isn't good with first-time starters. He's more equipped winning with second-timers. It just kind of feels like if the 1 gets out to the lead here at Penn National, got a little bit of talent, might win pretty easily. But yeah, listen, I think it's a good pick. And if you don't want to, if you don't want to just play the 1 to win, you could pair up with the 7 there. I really think it's going to come in 1-7. They may be 1-2 all the way around the track tonight, Magic. So
yeah.
All right.
I think it's going to be really late. It's like 5 o'clock Central, I think, is when it goes off.
Let's see what time it is. I think it's 5 or 6. Let's see. Yeah, 5 o'clock Central. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
5 o'clock Central.
So yeah, later game. So make all your money on Aaron and Papa Dude's best bets, and then build it up and put it all on the 1-7. Exactly.
Well, the good news is Papa Dude can't lose because he didn't even send one in today. So I haven't even heard from him.
Oh, that's from last week. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I didn't think the Chiefs were playing tonight, but okay.
Right. Well, Papa Dude went 0-4 last week. He was super pissed, and so today he didn't even send a play in. He's dumb. He he's subbing full time for the last week and this week, and he's miserable. And I'm like, well, you did that to yourself. Like, what do you want me to do about it? Like, you're a sub. You can say no. But anyway, that's a different. Maybe we'll talk about it at 5:00 Central on Dudes Who Bet Sports. That'll be great. We'll watch your race and we'll do Dudes Who Bet Sport live. That'll be great. Okay. Anyway, let's go for mine. Gulfstream Park Race 3 today. I went with the number 4. What is it? Novelli? Do you think that's how you say that horse's name?
It's Novelli.
Novelli makes way more sense.
Based off the dam's name, yeah.
100%. It's Novelli. I'm an idiot. Call me Mike Somich when it comes to pronouncing names. Gulfstream Park Race 3 here. I like the number 4, Novelli. Magic, one of the things, when we talked horses, when I first met you, if you break your maiden, let's say for $12K, you should go in for half of that when you face winners for the first time. If you break it for 25, go in for 12.5 next time. 50, go in for 25. Well, Novelli won last time out at the 12K maiden claiming company at Gulfstream Park. Now is in for 6.5 claimers today against winners for the first time. I think the horse's loan speed. And the same way with your horse, the one at Penn National in the first race, the 4, I think, projects to get a very similar trip here. There's not a lot in this race. I think if the 4 Novelli breaks well, we'll get the lead and take him gate the wire. So I like the 4 in the 3rd today at Gulfstream Park. Did you look at that one at all, Magic?
I did. This was one of the ones I'd considered. So it's funny that we were both on these races. And I think you've got a better chance of getting closer to your morning line than I do, because the one horse in here was 8-5 last out at this level and did the same thing. Well, actually, I take that back. Did the 12K maiden claiming win and then stayed in for 12 and got his ass beat. Or her ass beat. So she comes back down to this spot, but I like the running style of the 4. The 1 likes to come from off of it a little bit, and I think that's just going to have too much to do. So maybe a 4-1 exacta if the win bet is not looking good, but I think you should be good on your bet.
Yeah, if you guys haven't noticed, I've quit doing sports for the best bets because I'm a horse guy and it's ridiculous. I came on here to do sports every day, and by the way, we're doing a hell of a lot better since I've switched to horses.
Both
Imagine that. What I do professionally, do it for this. I mean, I'm a real genius. But the second thing I've done here, and it is to try to make sure that, and I realize 8-5 we may not get, but again, we might get 4-5 even money. And what I've kind of consistently tried to do is, okay, I really like this horse. Now let me look, is there another horse that's going to take money? And you just said it. The 1 is going to take money to keep the 4 from being a price that I think is going to be way too low to play. So I do think the 1 will do it. As far as being that other horse to take the money, they're going to see the class drop, they being the handicappers. You're going to think, yeah, this makes sense. And you know what? Here's the risk of it. Okay, yeah, you are a little bit scared that 1 could beat you, right? But hey, you got to take a chance. I think the 4 is a little bit better of a horse and has a little bit of a pace advantage. So I'll take the 4 in this spot, and hopefully we get the price that we want. So anyway, long story short, that's what I'm doing on the show. All right, Magic, let's go to the picks here today. Like I said, Papa Dude, no pick today. He did not write. He is very upset. He did confirm he will be on the show at 5 Central tonight. So yeah, we'll definitely get our fix of Papa Dude. You're going Penn National Race 1, number 1, Lawyer John, and I'm going to go Gulfstream Park Race 3, number 4, Novelli. We are up 875 for the year. We did slightly lose last week, like I said. Papa Dude did go 0-4. That hurt, but he went 4-0 the week before and got us up to kind of where we're at. So, yeah. And Magic, you almost swept. You went 3-1. And I think I may have went 3-1 or 2-2. But anyway, yeah, it was a good week. So any final thoughts before we get off here?
I've got my Dominic Hasek Red Wings hat.
Yep.
My Curtis Joseph Red Wings jersey. The Detroit Red Wings, in their last 6 games, Aaron, they've given up 28 goals against. Ooh. In their last 8 games, they've given up 32. If you want a sports best bet from me, Carolina team total over. I don't care what the number is. If it's 3.5, it's a 4, 4.5, play it over. The Red Wings are in trouble. Husto's starting tonight. He looks like Swiss cheese in the net. We're missing Larkin. Perron's still suspended. Comfort's out. Costin's out. It's a mess there. So Carolina team total over.
So the total is 6.5. Carolina will be a favorite. So I bet their total's 3.5.
Way over. So far over 3.5.
Yeah, I could see what you're saying on that one. I watched
trying to channel all my Red Wings goalie energy to give them some sort of a backstop.
I watch a lot of Red Wing games because of you, because I know you're a fan and I have the access to watch them, so I watch them a lot. And you're right, man. They just can't get any goaltending. I've always told you, because Husso was with the Blues, and I've watched him a lot, obviously, and he's not bad. He's not good. He's just that guy. And as a backup, he's fantastic. As a starter, he's probably in the lower half.
Yep.
He can have some games where he plays really good. And he has games where he can't. He hasn't been very healthy. I don't know. We'll see what he does tonight. He's the better option. I hate the other guy. I can't even think of his name right now. He sucks. Oh, I hate Reimer. Yeah, that's it.
Alex, we also have Alex Lyon, who was with the Panthers last year. He's been good. I just like a lot of the fans are like, can we push him to be the starting goalie? Because he's been the least disappointing of the three. If
you remember, the Panthers wouldn't have been in the playoffs if not for Alex Lyon. If you remember, he got wicked hot. I mean, standing on his head hot. He fell off a cliff. Thankful for the Panthers and Panthers bettors. They had the bobber, and he was great. He played fantastic. Yep. He can also be pretty shitty at times too. But
yeah, as we saw.
I would roll the dice with Alex Lyon for a minute here and see what happens. Maybe they'll do that. I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, a lot of nerdy Red Wings talk, and it kind of makes.
And I'm not even the one hosting.
I was gonna say it kind of makes me sick that I'm involved in this talk, but also feel kind of good about myself too that I'm a good friend. So
yes, that's very true. Your friendom has superseded your fandom.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, by the way, it is podcast day. Blinkers off will be at noon, 1 or 2, I've been told. So one of those 3 times we will have blinkers off. My guess is 1 o'clock Central, 2 Eastern, if I had a guess, but we'll see on that. Magic Mike, it's coming up on its absolute normal time, 4 o'clock Central, and then Dudes Who Bet Sports right after that at 5 o'clock. What are you guys doing at 4 today, Magic?
We are covering Gulfstream Park's Late Pick 5 on Saturday. That is a race of 7 through 11. It ends in the 2-mile H. Allen Jerkins handicap. One of the craziest races of the year, of the racing calendar year, because you really don't get 2-mile turf marathons very often at big tracks. So yeah, we'll get to discuss that one. There's a lot of interesting horses in that race.
I've handicapped ahead. I did Saturday this morning, and I was very interested to hear your thoughts on that one. I'm glad you're doing Gulfstream. I think it's a really good sequence. I think you guys are gonna have a fun show. So everybody tune in for that. Maybe I'll tune in as well. Yeah, you do always have fun. That's true. Okay, we'll see. Tomorrow we're going to do a 10 a.m. Central Time start. Why? Because I'm flying to Vegas, and I got to leave the house before the show would even start. So an hour earlier tomorrow, normal time the rest of the week. All right, guys. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, everybody, for joining, and we will see you here later today for Podcast Day.